Uh, Good afternoon. This is the last week of the Lent. The Lent, which started on the Ash Wednesday and finishes on Thursday of the Holy Week, Semana Santa, or Easter week. We know that this year is different. All of us, or at least the majority of us, stuck at home and perhaps sick of seeing inside the house. And that's why we decided to organize this meeting of partners, but also meeting of friends from different countries across Europe, just to share traditions of Easter week, but also to exchange the ideas of what we are doing this year on Easter week. Then I would like to present you the partners who will tell you about the traditions in different countries of Europe, and they are Dushana Findeisen from Dushana, hello, and Urshka Maharon. We cannot see Urshka, but she is here. They are from the Third Age University from Ljubljana, Slovenia. We also have here Hara Triteu from Cyprus. Hara is here, very good partner, very good friend. Some of you know Anna Harans. She's our teacher of English and German. Remember that we have videos to learn how to learn German in our YouTube. And you can have a link from our Facebook posts and go there and to watch the videos prepared by Anna. We also have here Tanya. Tanya.
Hello.
Tanya is our teacher of English and Russian, and Tanya also prepared some videos. Learn Russian with Tanya, and also there are videos which you can find in our YouTube channels. That's all about our speakers. That's all about our teachers, partners, and friends. Just let's start. Today we are going to talk about Easter across Europe. How Easter is celebrated in different European countries. You know that in different languages, Easter is called in a different way. Easter is just different words. For example, in English is Easter. I have repeated it, I don't know how many times today. In Spanish, Anna, is
Semana Santa.
Okay, es Semana Santa y Pascua. If it is, In German, Anna, can you read it in German?
Yes, Ostern.
Okay. Dushana, I know that you speak French. How to say Easter in French?
Pâques.
Okay.
Les vacances de Pâques.
Yeah.
Very important. Okay.
Also, we have here in Hebrew. Who knows how to pronounce it?
Well, I know that in Greek is the same. Probably it comes from Hebrew. It's called Pascha.
Pascha.
Like in Russian.
Yeah. Tanya, in Russian?
The same, Pascha.
Pascha. Yeah, and in Slovene, Urshka, Dushana?
Velika noć.
Velika noć. Velika noć. Tanya, it's similar to Russian, no? Velika noć.
Velika noć.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and that is about how Easter is translated in different languages. So let's see what kind of traditions different countries have. We are going to talk about Easter in Slovenia, Easter in Cyprus, and Easter in Germany. I would like to give the floor to Dushana from Ljubljana, Slovenia, and she will tell us about Easter in Slovenia. You're welcome, Dushana.
Well, hello everybody. Hello, Catalonia. We always like coming back to Reus. And we always like and enjoy meeting our partners in your beautiful, beautiful city. So Easter in Slovenia, actually, like in other countries, Easter in Slovenia is a long process. You have heard Olena talking about Lent. And in fact, Lent is the 40-day period leading, as you know, to Easter Sunday. So what is Easter Sunday important? Why is it important in Slovenia? Because we have a beautiful breakfast on that day, and all the relatives coming together. And this is really a real festivity, I would say. So we celebrate Easter Sunday over Easter breakfast, I would say, or brunch perhaps. And anyway, this time, this 40-day period is devoted to reflection. You probably know that Jesus spent also 40 days alone, all by himself, and he was isolated, and probably he was reflecting as well. So, Julia, could we go on?
Julia, can you, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So I would like to introduce you to this beautiful egg, which has been painted by one of our students at Slovenian Third Age University. Sorry, yes. As you can see, this is miniature work. It's, you know, it's very, they are tiny, they are small and very precise pictures of flowers, as you can see. And the traditional colors are white and red. I don't know, do you have Easter eggs in your country? And that are they made of chocolate, or are they made of eggs? And are they painted, and in what colors? This would be interesting to know. Now, Hara will tell you probably, or she will confirm, that Orthodox Christians celebrate Easter 1 or 2 weeks later than we do, than our Western churches do. So, because they observe, I don't know if I'm right or not, they observe Julian calendar. And we, shall we say in the West, observe the Gregorian calendar. And because we observe this calendar, so we celebrate Easter from March the 20, somewhere between, you can see the dates, March the 22nd and April the 25th. Shall we go on, perhaps? Julia, help me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is this day, which is called Fat Tuesday. It really is fat, because food is celebrated. This is the last day we can enjoy, you know, food, and we can have fun. We can amuse ourselves. It is very entertaining, as they say. Fat Tuesday is followed by the fasting days. Well, you know, Slovenia and former Yugoslavia were socialist countries or communist countries, if you want. So Easter was not celebrated, or it was celebrated, you know, half publicly, half incognito. So Lena probably knows a lot about it. But I do remember when I was a little girl, my grandmother took me to the church, and I was nicely dressed, and she was nicely dressed, and I was carrying a small basket full of delicious food, and a bigger basket was carried by my grandmother. There are in Slovenia different folk customs and pagan traditions. As you have seen, there are Easter eggs, not chocolate eggs. This is very industrial, I would say. Or maybe in England they are popular, but not in Slovenia. Colored Easter eggs. There is cooked ham, and there is horseradish, which I didn't like when I was a little girl. And there is this nut cake, potica. You know, this is typical of Central Europe. And we consume them, we enjoy them, shall we say, during this holy holiday. So this is a longer period of time. Oh, yes, we were talking the last time we met, the partners in our projects, about how to call this Friday, which is an important day. So it's called Good Friday. And on this day, housewives are supposed to, if you want, to plant something so everything will grow better. I think this is a very old tradition, which is probably not observed that much nowadays. What is important, of course, is that the food is blessed. And after the blessing, all these dishes, delicious food, we can start eating the food even from the basket. But it's much better to eat it in family on Easter Sunday. Thank you very much for your attention.
Oh, thank you very much, Dushana. You see, the traditions are very different. Here we also have eggs, but usually it is like a chocolate eggs. But I know that in Central Europe or Eastern Europe countries, that is a real eggs, and sometimes you have to eat it with salt. You cannot eat just egg. It should be with salt. Yeah. Because if not, you are supposed to tell lies during the whole year.
Oh.
Yeah. It is. I think. Yeah. It's different in different countries, but it's okay. Yeah.
So I think salt is very appreciated in Slavic countries.
Yeah.
It's this symbolic level,
Yeah.
saying a lot about friendship and good emotions.
Yeah, bread and salt, like welcome. Do you have this tradition to give bread and salt when some guests come to your home?
No, not in Slovenia.
No. Okay.
But yes, in Serbia, which is one of the republics of ex-Yugoslavia. Yes, in Serbia, it's very much developed, and I think it still exists.
Yeah. Yeah, that is that was about traditions and Slovenia. Thank you, Dushana, very much. Let's move to the southern country, to Cyprus. Hara will tell us about things which we cannot find perhaps in any other countries, or perhaps they will be similar to the traditions we have here in Spain or in Germany or in Slovenia. Hara, you're welcome.
So, hello everyone. I hope that you know where Cyprus is. We are in the Mediterranean as well. We are in the other part of Europe, close to Turkey and Syria. Just for you to have an idea of where we are. We are not a very big island. It's a small island with 1 million of inhabitants, more or less. And the majority of the population is Christian Orthodox. So as Dušana mentioned before, we have 1 week, more or less, of difference in the celebration that we have for the Easter. This year is on the 21st, one Sunday after yours. Sorry, on the 18th, 19th. So it's just 1 week after your Easter. And of course, we have as well the Lent, where for 40 days people are not eating meat, are not eating eggs, not cheese made from milk, and we, in some cases, we don't even eat olive oil. So you just have to feed from vegetables and fruits. And people are making, of course, bread at home by themselves, and they are preparing for the big celebrations of Easter so that they can eat meat again with the whole family, and cakes and other things that they prepare made from butter and eggs. So I'm gonna just say the celebrations about the Friday, the Good Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which is like the top, the peak of the Easter celebrations for the population in Cyprus. In the past, nowadays it's not so often, but it happens in villages and in small communities. Young people and families are gathering in the fields, and they get some flowers from the fields and from their gardens. They take all the flowers, they bring it to the church, and the ladies, which is like the mother of Jesus Christ, who is pure and young and has a clean soul, they take all these flowers and they decorate the epitafios. Epitafios, we call it epitafios, and it's the image you can see on your side, which looks like a tomb. And it's nicely decorated by different flowers and other decorations. And epitafios actually is the icon that depicts the Christ. When they remove it from the cross after he's dead, and they take his body and they prepare it for the burial. So there is this icon, which is placed, as you can see, inside this tomb, and people are carrying it in the evening service throughout the streets of the villages and of the neighborhoods. The people behind it sing songs about the soul of Jesus Christ, and they pray for his resurrection. And once they do a whole movement of people who follows the epitafios, they go back to the church and they continue the service. So this is the procedure we do for Friday evening, for Good Friday evening. So let's go to the next day. So on Saturday, on Good Saturday, we have 2 services in the church: the morning service and the evening service, which starts more or less around 11 p.m. I'm going to talk about the evening one so that we have the bigger idea and the celebrations that we do in Cyprus. So the evening service is called the service of the resurrection because during midnight the Christ is resurrected and people celebrate for that event. So once it goes 12 a.m., which is midnight, the church bells sound out very happily to all the churches of the regions, and people kiss each other, embrace each other, and say Christos Anesti, which means Christ is risen. This is a phrase we say, Christos Anesti. And people are holding a candle, which is sometimes it's nicely decorated. You can see on your side some decorations, and it's really famous, especially in kindergarten and primary schools. They buy the candles, the white candles or the colorful candles, and they decorate them the way they want. And each child is
15:30.
And the child is holding the candle, as well the parents, and everybody is holding this candle, which is called in Greek lambada. And yes, probably it might be similar to your languages. Mm-hmm. So we hold this, and we wait for the holy light. And the holy light doesn't come from the lighters we light up our cigarettes, but it comes from Jerusalem, from the Holy Tomb, where they take the holy light and they transfer it to all the Orthodox churches of the world with private planes. It goes to every church around the island, and then when it comes 12 a.m. at night and Jesus Christ is resurrected, the priest takes out the holy light and shares it with the rest of the people. So the candles, the lambades, are lightened by this holy light. Let's go to the next one, which is several traditions you find especially in the villages of Cyprus. So what the young people do, it's like a task, a mission to accomplish, and all the teenagers, the female and male teenagers, but especially the boys, the younger boys, and men, of course, go all together to the mountains, and they gather big branches of trees. They take all these branches and they create a big bonfire, as you can see in the image next to you. They go to the big yard that is in front of the church. They gather all these branches and they make like a big hill. No, go back, please. When you see this big hill, there is on the top of it, they make a puppet. It looks like a Judas, which is the apostle that betrayed Jesus. So they put it on the top of this hill, of this bonfire, and it's like his punishment for betraying the Jesus. So they light up the fire, and all these branches become a big hill of fire. And then the guys, as you can see in the picture, they hold big branches of a specific tree that is called laurel in English, Daphne in Greek, and with force they go towards the bonfire and they do this movement so that the fire becomes bigger. So if we can see the video, there is a video from my village where my parents are, my father was born. They do this custom every year with the fire, if you can see. The people run towards the fire and they shake those branches and the fire becomes even bigger. And people become really excited about it because they are gathered close to the fire, they are warm, they take videos. they upload them on Instagram, and they compete which fire is bigger. So apart from these celebrations, we also have some food. Of course, we are Mediterraneans, and we like eating food. So people cook several things that are traditional for Easter. The first one, of course, is the red egg that Shana also mentioned before, that you can either find them with simple red color, or you can nicely decorate them from things that you can find in the supermarket. So it's a really nice activity that teenagers and children do, you know, to put them in a nice basket and wait for them. And the action when we have the Easter on Sunday, the action of breaking the two eggs is like it's symbolic. It's like Christ is breaking free from the tomb. So it's also like a competition in families, because you know the ones who stands healthy with the egg untouched, it's the winner, and the rest are the losers. So it's a nice tradition, because when we were kids, we are breaking all the all the eggs until the last one to see who is gonna be the winner. And the other things that we do is that we have some traditional sweets and salty pastries. The one you can see is chureki. It's called chureki. It's a very nice sweet. It has vanilla, it has eggs, flour, some almonds, and some other traditional ingredients that you can find in Greece and Cyprus, and it's really fluffy, so it's really nice to eat it. And the next, which is only special in Cyprus, you will find it in Cyprus, is flaounes, which is more or less like a triangle, and it's made of dough and a specific cheese that you can find in Cyprus. And they put also some raisins inside and sugar to make it sweet. And if you want it salty, they only put cheese inside, so it's more salty. And the last one, which is like a really big tradition, it's the lamb. We take a big lamb, a whole lamb. We put it, as you can see in the picture, we put it in a big barbecue, which is turning with a mechanism for like 4 hours, 5 hours. It's slow cooking. So the family, the grandfather, the father, and the children take this lamb. They start from 6 a.m. in the morning to cook it until having it ready and prepared during midday, around 12 p.m., 1 p.m. They cut it in pieces. They put also several spices, and it's really, really soft. And they go there, they make pictures again, and they eat it all together. And it's like a big celebration after 40 days of not being able to eat meat. So these are more or less the basic food that we find in Cyprus that accompany the traditions. And of course, there are like many more games, traditional games that the children are playing in the church, in the yards of the churches in the afternoon, Sunday afternoon, and celebrations and activities they find. And in each area, also there are more specific ones that they are coming from the grandparents and grandparents of the regions. So this is more or less. Hope you enjoy it. The customs, and of course, if you have any questions, you can send me an email.
Hara, I'm sure that all of us enjoy it. You describe so vividly, especially this lamb, that I feel hungry now. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
Okay,
Luciana.
I've got a question. I'm
Yeah.
very much concerned with that lamp. I mean, do you know the lamp personally? Or do you buy it? And it's
Okay, I will tell you. Nowadays that we don't have our own lamps at home, we buy them from the butchery stores. But people in the villages that used to have their own lambs and they feed them from their own fields and from their own food, they used to kill it by themselves and put it on the barbecue. So you will find different variations according to the region.
Okay.
And it's a big one. It might be from 10 kilos, from 8 kilos till 15 kilos.
Wow.
Depends on the number of family members.
if it's 8 kilos, if it weighs 8 kilos or 80 kilos?
8.
Aha, so it's not obese. So it's not.
It's the baby. The baby.
It's a baby.
The bigger one, up to 20 kilos, yes, it can be a huge one, but you need to have a family of 30 members to be able to eat.
Because, you know, once I met, shall I say, a pork named Marco.
Oh,
And, you know, it was impossible to kill that pork.
right. Yeah.
Of course.
You know, he was personalized and he was a friend of ours. So
Yeah.
he spent the rest of his life living in peace.
Okay.
It's
Lucky.
to have a name.
Lucky animal.
Yeah.
Well, that was traditions of Cyprus. Thank you, Hara. I see that we have some students. Nuria, Albert, if you have any questions, then you can send them to your teachers, and then we will resend forward them to Hara from Cyprus and to Dushana from Slovenia. We have one more presentation, and this presentation is prepared by Anna, our teacher of English and German.
And just to mention that if you want the recipes for the food, the Cypriot food, I can find them in English and share them with you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Anna, Eastern Germany.
Okay, hello. So some of you know me. I am the English and the German teacher, and I am from half German origin because my mother is from Germany. So I will explain you how Easter is celebrated in Germany. So then I put some vocabulary. Okay, so we can see here. The Osterhase, which is the Easter bunny, and the Ostereier, what are the Easter eggs. The Easter bunny and the Easter eggs are very important in the German tradition, and they represent fertility traditionally. We also have the Osterglocke, which is a flower, it's a narcissus. And then it is called literally, if we translate it literally, it is the Easter bell.
Yeah.
And then we have der Osterkuchen oder der Osterbrot, what is a cake or a bread prepared specially for Christmas. For Christmas, not for Easter, I'm sorry. So can we see the next slide? Thank you. So the origin of Easter, it was originally it was the feast of spring, and according to the legend, it was devoted to the spring goddess, whose name was Ostara. But now, although it has a religious meaning for many people, many of the pagan traditions remain. In Germany, we don't have religion for everybody, maybe 30% of the people are Catholic, 30% of the people are Protestant, and then 30% of the people have no religion at all, and then they have some minoritarian religions. So the traditions are normally for this fest, they are based on the pagan traditions. So the next one. Okay, so now I'm going to explain you what we normally do when at Easter. So on Thursday we paint and decorate the eggs and decorate the house with the eggs. Then we also have the bonfire of Easter. Okay, so the bonfire of Easter is done to chase out the evil spirits and welcome the spring. And then on Easter Sunday, we eat a very big breakfast with a lot of different foods and cakes. The important is that the cakes are in the form of a lamb or a hare. And the most important thing that children love to do on Easter Sunday is to seek for the chocolate ice. Okay, so the Easter bunny hides the eggs in the garden, and then children have to look for them. So this is a tradition I remember from when I was a child, looking for the eggs, and it is fun. So I think that's everything, as long as the traditions in Germany. And if you have any questions.
Do we have any questions? Radu, Shana?
with the rest of the costumes we have, more or less.
Excuse me, I cannot hear you.
It's interesting to see that you have that we have common customs.
Yes, sure. Yes.
A little bit altered, but it's still similar.
Yes. And then some of the traditions are also imported. For example, now we also have like eggs here in Spain, but some years ago nobody knew about this tradition. Now we have Lidl who sells the eggs.
Yeah, but usually we have chocolate eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, for example, in Catalonia, we have a special day. It is called Mona Day, and that is Monday after Easter Sunday. And then, if you have got children, got daughter or got son, you have to give. Usually, it is either a cake or a chocolate egg or something. For example, my son asked me. Okay, he doesn't want chocolate. He wants a game. Then for him, the present will be not a chocolate egg, it will be a game, and that is.
We have the same, Olena, we have it before the Easter. Before the Easter comes, the godfathers or the godmothers go to their godchildren. They buy these candles, I told you, the nicely decorated ones.
Lambadas.
Because sometimes you can lambadas. Yeah, and you can find them with a Superman on top, or a Batman, or a Catwoman, all the heroes, a Barbie, or anything. So they buy lambadas and
yeah. You see, that is what Hara said. We live in very different parts of Europe, in very different parts of the world, but we are so similar. We have eggs, chocolate or not, but we have them. We compete, we organize egg fight. And I remember this tradition from my childhood.
Olena, this is going to be the next project.
Okay. Okay. Luciana, we still have 3 weeks till the deadline of Erasmus Plus. Yes, we can write it.
For sure.
Yeah.
In terms of Europe, for motivational manners.
Well, for me, it was a very motivational, very inspiring hour. staying with you, I mean, our partners, our friends, and also with our students. I mean, at least all of us stayed together. I just want to tell you that it doesn't matter that this year is very different. What is matter that we are still here, we are healthy, and we want to continue. We want to continue with our projects, we want to continue with whatever we do, and we want to continue with our relationships. Thank you very much for your presentations.
Very much.
Thank you. Mhm.
Thank you.
Mhm.